what is it like working at NASA? And can you tell the audience some of the things that you're doing right now?
Yeah. What is it like? It's honestly more than I ever could have imagined it to be. Like I think what you said about being curious is right on. I get to be curious every single day, and I show up and I'm challenged by people who are way smarter than me, and I get to ask them questions. And um, and it's just very exciting to be surrounded by this culture of innovation and forward thinking and inclusion. Um, so today, for example, one of the projects that I'm working on is our Moon Trees Education Initiative. So some of the folks listening might be familiar with NASA's Artemis program, which is the series of missions that's going to get humans back to the moon and eventually to Mars. And so aside of that just being a really cool effort and there being so many things tied to it, my office sent an education payload on the first flight of the Artemis program, which launched November of 2022. Went further than any spacecraft meant for humans has ever gone. And we put a little pouch of 5 species of seeds on board that we're distributing to education organizations, libraries, museums, schools all around the country. So before I got on with y'all, I was on a meeting just to kind of finalize and wrap up what that process looks like. But I also, on a regular basis, get to interact with our subject matter experts, our astronaut crew. We work on multimedia resources that are filmed with our astronauts on board the International Space Station. And we're looking ahead to what that could look like as through Artemis, we build out habitation on the lunar surface, and eventually with Artemis 3 looking at building our lunar gateway, which will essentially be a space station but one that orbits the moon instead of the earth. So we're really making a presence happen in space as we continue to explore, and I get to be on the side that bridges the technical expertise with the education community. And it's just a really cool spot to be. I love showing up every day, and I'm really excited about the work that I get to do.
Yeah, and I think as we hear you talk, right, the again, the leadership topic is curiosity fuels innovation. So we can tell, how intelligent you are, but one of the things that you mentioned right off the bat was you get to ask people questions. And I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of us lose is like it's okay to not be the smartest person in the room, right? Like
For
if you're the
sure.
smartest person in the room, there's something wrong with that, right? Admit when you don't know something, right? So I was reading a little bit about it. So, and you could tell me if these numbers are wrong, but essentially, with landing these seedlings on the moon, you're going to share the experience with approximately 2,000 classrooms around the country. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll be so initially we'll be distributing around 400 seedlings, and then we've been engaging a couple thousand schools in different activities tied to research that's happening on the seeds. But we're working on some activities that might allow us to reach more physical locations than that. We have a partnership with the USDA Forest Service, and they're kind of our experts to assess this for those seeds that we flew. Are they viable? Are they strong enough to be able to be replanted? So there's a lot of logistical pieces that will affect the final count on that. But overall, on the digital space, we've engaged probably through series of like distance learning activities and just getting students and educators excited. Um, uh, Probably around 20,000 or so classrooms and educators.